Welcome back, everyone. It is Saturday, July 26th in the MLB. We have 3 picks cooked up for you guys for this slate. Let's dive on into things. But first and foremost, we need to recap how we did yesterday. Bring out those little mini brooms for a little 2-0 sweep, Logan. We take that. Nick Pivetta under 2.5 earned runs. A little sweaty in there, but we take it. And Dodgers Red Sox under 10. They ended with what? 7 runs. We love that. A little easier winner there. A 2-0 day. We're trying to go 3-0 today, Logan. Let's try to get that done. And if we do manage to go 3-0, we will do a $25 giveaway. Here's how you enter. Go down below, spread some good vibes with a little like on that like button, and just comment down below your favorite play. It doesn't have to be a home run. Comment whatever you want. It could be what you're doing this weekend. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully we can fill our pockets with a little bit more cash today. We got 3 picks. Logan's got 2 of them. He's going to lead things off with a total, and it's not an under today, Logan. We're rooting for some runs. Where are we rooting for runs from?
Yeah, we are rooting for some runs. Yesterday, I did like rooting for an under. I won't lie to you there. But today, I'm got an over. Nationals and Twins over 8.5, -110 odds on BetMGM is your best value there. Now, yesterday, it was comically low scoring, as low scoring as it gets. It was 1-0. Twins win yesterday. I see today having significantly more runs. A lot of times in baseball, what I like to do in these series is find a really comically low scoring game and say, is there a potential that they bounce back the next day with runs? And both these starters, I think, are liable to get touched up a little bit today. Let's talk about who starts for the Twins, though. It's Joe Ryan, 2.63 ERA and a 0.9 WHIP for Joe Ryan. Now, Joe Ryan's been really good, especially with that sub-3 ERA. He's very tough on righties, but the lefties can have success against him. If there's anything I've seen kind of like in weaknesses in Joe Ryan's game, which there aren't many, it's that the lefties do have more success, and the Nats lefties did nothing productive last night. So anything they do today is more production than they got yesterday. I think several of them can get some hard hit extra base hits against him. Ryan's ERA is slightly higher at home at a 2.77. Again, just a tick higher, not anything like drastic. And the Nats need to make Ryan pay for his mistakes. Joe Ryan is a really good pitcher. What he does sometimes, though, is he'll challenge hitters in like right down the middle. I swear, no movement on his pitches, and when that happens, he gets barreled up. This is why he is 15th percentile in barrel percentage, 25th percentile in ground ball percentage. If hitters make contact with his pitches, like he's not getting the swing and miss, they are tattooing him for some hard hit extra base hits. Now he's really good at getting the swing and miss, which if you look at his last start, 7 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts to the Colorado Rockies. I mean, that's against the Rockies. Again, that's the Rockies' way of things. They swing at anything and everything. The Nats are 7th best in strikeouts per game this season. I think they will challenge Joe Ryan a lot more in this start, making him have to throw strikes consistently. If he throws pitches that are outside of the zone, hopefully they can just leave the bat on the shoulder, wait for the pitch they're looking for. And again, I think the Nats will be sneaky in this one. I don't think they're necessarily going to get blown out of the water in this one. I think they will put up runs on Joe Ryan. And then on the other side of the equation, we're going to need some Twins runs as well. And that's going to come against Mitchell Parker, who starts for the Nationals. 5 ERA, 1.4 WHIP for Mitchell Parker. Now, Mitchell Parker coming off a really good start. 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs against the Padres. Now, prior to that, though, you have to look at those game logs. 7 and 4 earned runs in those prior 2 outings. On the road, Parker has a 6.46 ERA, and in the month of July, he has not been well at all. 7.02 ERA in the month of July. There's a lot of signs, of why I think Mitchell Parker really, really struggles at the major league level. And a lot of that is how he pitches with runners in scoring position. It's the do or die stat for pitchers a lot. Parker's allowing a .330 batting average with runners in scoring position, meaning if the Twins can just make him work today, generate guys on base, I think they're going to have a lot of success versus him. The Twins are hitting .262 versus lefties this month, which is pretty solid. I mean, the Twins offense, anything but consistent. We know that. But I still think they can get to Mitchell Parker in the spot. He is not a big strikeout guy at all. He struggles start to really get more than like 3 or 4 strikeouts. I mean, that's pretty much his cap these days. I think a guy that pitches a lot of contact like Mitchell Parker gets rocked today. And then we can go to the bullpens. In July, the Nats are 24th in bullpen ERA, Twins 15th in bullpen ERA. There was no bullpen collapse at all yesterday. With a drought of runs yesterday, I'm very confident sitting up here and saying that today the bullpens will give up more runs, especially anything involving the Nats bullpen. I mean, it's something I've talked about all season long. If you're going to take any sort of total with the Nats, you have to account for their bullpen being atrocious because they come in and they just sell. They are one of the worst bullpens I've seen this season long, and I am totally fine taking an over that involves their bullpen. Twins bullpen has been mediocre as well too. They don't scare me at all. I love the over in this one. Hopefully they bring the bats today. Love that as my first pick of the day. But Austin, you got to pick. What you rolling with?
Yeah, I got a little same game parlay. Yesterday, I gave you guys a minus 150. Saw the comments. No one likes drinking that juice. So today, I got a minus 200. No, I'm just kidding. I actually have a plus money parlay. Let's talk about Robbie Ray today. I got for plus 130. Here's what I'm doing with Robbie Ray. Two very correlated props, over 17.5 pitching outs, and is under 2.5 earned runs at plus 130 on DraftKings. I say Fanatics had this at around plus 126, something like that. Give or take. Around plus 130, we'll certainly take that, throw a unit on there to try to win 1.3 back towards the bankroll. Yeah, I really think Robbie Ray's in for a good start here today. If you're on FanDuel, they won't give you the earned runs prop, so you could just take his over and outs, which is about minus 115. Obviously, there is ways where go and give up 3 or more earned runs and still hit that over and outs, whereas we need both of them to go through. But honestly, when Robbie Ray, if he's pitching well, he's normally not giving up 3 earned runs, and when that's not the case, is going 6 or more innings pitched, which the Giants are in desperate need of today after what happened yesterday with Logan Webb. He only went out there and give him 4 innings. He was not good. They had to use some of their bullpen. They're going to look for Robbie Ray to go out there and give him 6 tonight against the Mets. Now, like I said, this is a start where Robbie Ray needs to bounce back, because if you watch his last start, it wasn't a good one, but again, he faced the Toronto Blue Jays, who we've talked with the Blue Jays, one of the best hitting lefty teams at home this season, and they made Robbie Ray work. They got 5 hits off him, they got 5 walks off him, and it resulted in 5 earned runs and 4 1/3. So look, Robbie Ray, he's been good, and I think he bounces back here today. In his last 16 starts, 2.64 ERA. So again, been pitching really well since really the end of April into May, June, July. He's pitched really well, and we've seen him go 6 or more innings pitched over the outs line in 12 of those 16 starts. So more often than not, he's going over into giving him 6 innings or more. He's gone under 2.5 earned runs and 12 of 16 starts. So again, a very good hit rate there in terms of cashing both of these props, which obviously are very heavily correlated here. He's cashed both props in 10 of his last 16 starts. So about 63% of the time he's cashing both of these, which we love to see because we need both. And at plus 130, I think we got a chance here. Now, like I said, he will face the Mets. The Mets offense is starting to tick up. Lindor is no longer like me at the plate. He's actually swinging a decently hot bat, but still, I'm not too confident in the rest of the lineup. Juan Soto, sure, but the rest of the lineup, I'm not too confident in. Pete Alonso, still pretty ice cold, and he's always coming up with guys on base. Now, he did help us out with a 3-run homer the other day, but other than that, he hasn't really done a whole lot. And the Mets really haven't seen a ton of lefties, but they have seen 4 recently, 3 post All-Star break, 1 right before the All-Star break. The last 4 have given up 0, 2, 2, and 4 earned runs. All 4 of those guys went at least 6 or more innings pitched, with several of them going into the 7th inning. And then the only one that really got off of was Tyler Anderson. And Tyler Anderson's been all over the place this season. He walked 5 guys. So again, Robbie Ray coming in here off a start where he walked 5, I would expect him to be a little bit more dialed in. His location should be there. And this is not a Blue Jays offense he's facing. This is the Mets offense, who during the last 2 weeks, they're batting .222 with a 91 WRC plus versus lefties, both below average numbers. So look at Robbie Ray. He can get the swing and miss, 71st percentile whip percentage, 77th in K percentage, 86th in expected batting average. It's really going to come down to, can he avoid the long ABs, which are like 7, 8, 9 pitch ABs, and can he avoid the walks, which would likely lead into those walks. But as I said, this is the Mets offense the last 2 weeks, 5th highest fly ball rate. But even though they're hitting 5 balls, which is fine for us because we're in San Francisco, where the weather will be a very pitcher friendly and the ballpark is very pitcher friendly, that 5th highest fly ball rate is correlated with a 3rd highest soft contact rate. So again, a lot of soft contact fly balls, easy outs and stuff like that. If they want to roll over and give us a double play, we certainly would take that. And like I said yesterday, Logan Webb, only 4 innings pitched out of him, gave up 8 hits, 1 walk, I think 6 earned runs, taken out at 81 pitches. So again, I really think they're going to need 6 out of Robbie Ray here today. Worst case scenario, he pitches well, but they run up the pitch count and he's not getting in there for 6 or more innings. But at plus 130, I like this heavily correlated parlay for Robbie Ray to give him 6 innings pitched of good quality baseball. So if he goes under 2.5 earned runs, hopefully the defense is showing up for him today. I really like this low correlated parlay for Robbie Ray to do his job tonight, give the Giants a chance at winning winning this game against David Peterson and the Mets. So that's my favorite play of the day. I'll talk about one other lean I had in a moment, but first I'll let Logan talk about his second and our third play of the day. Logan, take it away. What you got for the people?
Yeah, so my second pick, hopefully we can continue, winning and make it a little 3-0 day. It's going to be the Cardinals. First 5 team total over 2.5, minus 125 on Fanatics is your best value there. Now, if you don't have this market, because some books don't offer first 5 team total market, I pivot to Cardinals first 5 run line. Now, the reason why I didn't pick that today is because Matthew Liberatore is a very hard pitcher for me to read. I just know the minute I trust the Cardinals first 5 run line, I know Matthew Liberatore is going to go out there and just stink it up. So rather than just try to guess if it's going to be a good start or bad start for Matthew Liberatore, I just want to back the Cardinals to score some runs early in this game, which is what I think they'll do anyway against Randy Vasquez. That's the pitcher we're fading today. The last time I faded him, the Marlins had a ton of base runners. They just didn't do anything with him. He had base traffic every single inning, it felt like, and they just couldn't really capitalize on him. That's okay. I tabled that little note, and I said the next time Randy Vasquez starts, it's going to be against the Cardinals in St. Louis, and I think they get to him. He 3.73 ERA and a 1.41 WHIP for Randy Vasquez. Again, that WHIP is pretty high considering that he has that sub-4 ERA, and it makes sense though because if you go in and dive into his StatCast metrics, they're not great at all. 5.92 expected ERA, which is 3rd percentile. 283 expected batting average, which is 12th percentile. The expected numbers for him are a ton of blue circles, and it's just that's how it is. Good pitchers have the red circles, bad pitchers have the blue circles. Depending on how you look at it, I think Randy Vasquez is due some hard regression as the season goes on. He's pitched pretty well, and he's pitched pretty lucky. We have to call it what it is. On the road, Vasquez's ERA goes up to 4.34, and his batting average allowed jumps to 261. So again, those numbers on the road are not as good for Randy Vasquez, and he doesn't generate consistent strikeouts as well. 1st percentile in whiff percentage and 1st percentile in K percentage. Again, a friendly reminder: 99th percentile is the best, 1st percentile is the worst. 100th percentile is the best. But if you look at how that really translates for Randy Vasquez's game, he's not missing a lot of bats. And when you're not missing a lot of bats, you have to pretty much pitch perfectly. And he has pitched perfectly in some of these outings. But again, this Cardinals lineup is pretty dangerous. Against left-handed batters, Vasquez is allowing a 283 batting average. The Cardinals have a lot of great lefty hitters in that lineup. It starts with guys like Brendan Donovan, and it goes all the way 1 through 9. They have guys that can definitely hit those right-handed pitchers. The Cardinals are hitting 271 against righties this month at Busch Stadium. Again, that with this matchup, I think the Cardinals get to Randy Vasquez early. They will ambush him, hopefully, starting in the 1st inning, continuing all the way through the 5 innings. And if you look at the books, their confidence level in Randy Vasquez, it's got a 6.5 hits allowed line, which they don't give to many pitchers. That's a really high line for a hits allowed line. He also has a 14.5 outs line, juiced on the over, of course. But again, that is a lot of bad signs for Randy Vasquez, at least how the books are pricing him. I agree with the way they're pricing him. I think he gets rocked today, and hopefully the Cardinals bring the bats and make us look good. Hopefully St. Louis does their job in the first 5 innings. Hopefully, Austin, that can continue our winning ways. Let's get a little 3-0 sweep today.
Let's absolutely go 3-0 today. And if we do, we'll do $25 giveaway. Just drop a like, comment, whatever you want down below. Let's try to do that. Like I said, one extra lean. I looked at Ranger Suarez today in a bounce back start, but his last 2 starts have been a little bit questionable. The one before the break versus the Padres, who can't hit lefties, and then his last one against the Angels. So I'm not going to back Ranger today, but I did look at it. We'll see. Maybe we up the volume tomorrow, but we're just going to stick to the 3 plays today. You already heard them, but I'll recap them real quick. We have the over in the Washington Nationals and Minnesota Twins game over 8.5. We have the Robbie Ray SGP over and outs, under and earned runs. And then we have the Cardinals scoring 3 in the first 5. Again, you could maybe look towards the first 5 total. But again, we don't really want to count on the Padres to do anything. But maybe it could hit. Maybe the Padres show up and maybe the Cardinals don't. You still cash. You can figure that out. But either way, those are our favorite picks. Let's go 3-0. And Logan and I will be back tomorrow on Sunday with some more picks. We'll see you guys then. Peace out.